I'm the board director responsible for stimulating innovation, and that really comes down to encouraging SMEs in particular to get involved in the opportunities for a public sector to support them in innovation and link them with our great universities in this LEP area. So we've got five fantastic universities, so making the best of the expertise in the region really, and also using public procurement to stimulate innovation, so encouraging the public sector to be a bit more imaginative in what it orders and buys from the private sector, so that drives innovation through some of our large projects. I ran a small business in the West Midlands for 14 years before I joined the LEP board, and we worked in the energy and building sector, and I learned during those 14 years how much influence the public sector can have in terms of driving growth and innovation. So you can really make a difference if you get things right as the economic development organisation for the area, and that attracted me to the role originally. Well, at the moment I work in the energy sector, and I've worked in the energy sector for 25 years now, which is a very long time. But again, I think it comes down to you can really make a difference in energy because everyone needs it, and it's a very, very rapidly changing world, the energy sector, and driven by climate change and technical change as well. So there's massive opportunities for business in the energy sector, particularly the low carbon energy sector, and that's a really exciting time to be involved. I think I'd single out partnerships particularly, so the importance of relationships really. So I'm an engineer by background, and I started out being very task focused and excited by technologies and making things happen. And I set up my own business, which is a very focused thing to do, I guess, and you try and, when you're trying to build a business from nothing, you very much want to believe you can do everything, but you learn very quickly that you can't do everything, and if you want to succeed in business you have to have really constructive partnerships and be part of an industry sector and contribute to that and work with others and learn what your strengths are and what the strengths of other people are, and then form collaborative partnerships. There's no doubt that's been the biggest lesson of my career, and that's been the most rewarding thing as well, some of the partnerships I've been involved with. And that's why, again, you asked earlier about what motivated me to be on the local economic partnership board, and it's one of the best partnerships I've been involved with. I believe when I came onto the board there was a desire to have a slightly different voice, an SME, and a voice for innovation, which is not often represented in a lot of the economic development activity that goes on in this region and elsewhere. So I hope I've done a decent job of getting innovation recognised at the board level, and we've certainly moved forward in a number of sectors in terms of innovative activity. I'm particularly involved in the energy sector, and we set up a partnership with the Coventry Warwickshire LEP and the Black Country LEP called Energy Capital, working across the three LEP geography to support energy innovation and the energy transition, and ensure we make the best of that change in this region in terms of economic opportunities for our businesses and our citizens. And I think Energy Capital is probably the biggest single achievement I'm most proud of in my role as LEP board member. We're in an interesting time for the LEP at the moment in terms of kind of national change and funding changes, and we've been using the opportunity really to test different approaches to stimulating innovation across the region. So we've got two pilot programmes in progress. One's around intellectual property and providing a programme to support businesses that might not even know there's value in their intellectual property as to how they can get most value out of that and use it as a springboard for innovation. And then another programme which is about sector-based, building sector centres of expertise and innovative communities and innovative ecosystems in Greater Birmingham and Solihull. And they're both pilot level things, so we're trying to see what works and then we can do more of it. So they're both ongoing this year, and that's a contribution to a bigger picture really around productivity and our local industrial strategy. So for the first time for a long time, my entire working career really, the UK has got into industrial strategy and really focusing on sectors where we're strong and trying to make them better. And in Greater Birmingham and Solihull in the West Midlands, we were the first region to have a local industrial strategy. We're trying to drive productivity in our focus sectors of automotive, life sciences, energy and creative industries and professional services. Innovation is a big part of that in terms of driving productivity. So that's been a big part of my work as well. But I think that's a really difficult question because we're such a diverse geography and we cover such a multiplicity of interesting places, really. I think I have a bit of a soft spot for Lichfield because my first LEP board meeting was at Lichfield Cathedral, which was completely unexpected, and I didn't think that that's where LEPs met. So that was really quite interesting. I've got a soft spot for Chelmsley Wood in North Solihull because my old company, did quite a lot of work there refurbishing buildings, so we did some of our most interesting technical work in Chelmsley Wood. But I think probably if I had to single out one place, which the question is asking me to do, it would probably be Digbeth, because I spent a lot of time there. I chair an arts charity called Craftspace that were based in the custard factory for nearly 20 years, so I used to spend a lot of evenings in the custard factory. It's such a lively place, and I like the history of like the history of Birmingham as a whole, but you can imagine Digbeth as it was in the old days, and a really thriving kind of industrial ecosystem there, and maybe it'll be like that again one day. But I love the old buildings and just imagining what they were like in the past, and places like the custard factory, which are really lively and full of creative businesses these days, are quite exciting places to be around, and it's interesting to see that kind of transformation going on. So I'll go for Digbeth.